Hey guys, Praetorian Titan and I are here today talking with the Aquagoat team. So let's get into it.
For sure. Hey everybody, my name is Patrick Abrin. I'm a co-project manager for Aquagoat and very pleased to be here. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, and my name is Marielle. Operana is the last name, and I am the current marketing lead for Aquagoat. And yeah, I'm also very happy to be here participating in this podcast.
It's really, really good to have you on. We are really excited about this project. We stumbled upon it. We talk in our Discord on occasion about emerging cryptos, and people will throw out, ideas. And Aquagoat came up. And so we're like, what in the world is Aquagoat? And we go and we're looking, and here's this dabbing goat. And I'm like, oh, we gotta learn about this one. So the more that we looked at it, the more intrigued that we got. We're like, I've never seen a crypto that works with charities in this unique way. And we were flabbergasted. So Faz and I said, this is something that we can really, really get into, but we need to know more. And I'm so glad that you guys are here to join us today and tell us a lot more about this. People are going to have questions.
For sure, 100%. No, we're here to clear that up. I mean, the dabbing goat says a lot, but I'm sure there are some questions people would have.
All right. So the questions. I'll ask the first one, and then just let it go from there. We have no strict format here. We're just we try to be loose, and wherever it goes, wherever it goes. So
Sure.
The first thing is, what interests me about Aquagoat is because you guys are doing charity work. How are you guys set up? How's your organization set up? Are you set up as a charity, a nonprofit, for-profit company?
That's a good question. I mean, I feel like we're kind of structured like a business. Like first of all, like everything we do is nonprofit. As investors, I guess like our only pay would be our own investments. But for example, anything we take in as donations or anything, like we're not skimming off the top. Like we don't say proceeds from this will, go towards the organization. Like everything apart from at least just the cost would be going to like organizations like once we get like our merchandising and stuff. But like how we're set up is basically we have our lead admin team. There's five of us, Marielle, myself. So there's me and Steven as kind of like the co-project managers. Marielle's in marketing. We have Janelle, who's doing the charity aspect. And then we also have Cody as kind of our like risk and compliance. He works as a paralegal, so he's helpful to talk to. When we were like, what do we do? Is this okay to do? And he's like, no, yeah, go for it. And then we have our associated teams. We have our social media team, graphic designers, and then we have a wide assortment of different moderators. We have different international chats, so we have moderators there as well. Total like community effort really. And again, everybody's volunteering here. Nobody's really getting paid a salary apart from just their own initial investment, because everybody believes in this at the end of the day. There's not really like, we work for our investment, so to say.
So basically like a loose volunteer kind of organization?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, everybody here, like even, the whole team, I love talking about the kind of the origin story of the team. Like, I feel like I was probably the one that was here the earliest. Like I got in, I think day 1 or day 2 or something like that. And I just got tapped on to be like a chat mod. And then, from there, I made a group chat with all the mods, and whoever volunteered to be a chat mod, we kind of got on the same page. And somebody was like, oh, I applied to CoinGecko, I applied to CoinMarketCap, right? And it kind of just built from there. And over time, as some people did drop out because they might have been happy with their profits, or they just weren't interested anymore. So along the way, we picked up a few more volunteer investors from the community that just thought, this is a great project, and we'd love to put our time and our efforts into this, because and everybody's really passionate about it, which I absolutely love, because nobody came in here looking for like a salary. Like we have some people kind of asking like, is this paid? And we're like, no, it's volunteer. Like, unless you're an investor, like that's kind of the only pay you get, right? So
Yeah, I want to add on to that and say that like when I joined the project originally, because Patrick and I are pretty close outside of the crypto sphere, and he was telling me about this token, so I decided to buy in, and then I knew how brand new it was to the market, and I had a couple ideas in mind, and I just relayed them off to Patrick, and one thing led to another, and I ended up just becoming the lead marketing team. So nonetheless, like, even though it is volunteer and we're here on our own time, like being able to do this full time is it's actually so invigorating, in a sense that I feel very passionate about this project, and I'm learning more about crypto as I go along, not even with like the team leads, but with every single person in the community. So in my time being here since, I believe, April, it's just been so much exponential growth in terms of knowledge and wisdom from the community. So it's been great. I just wanted to add into that.
Oh, that's terrific. So, with that origin, starting kind of with you, Patrick, was it the token first, or was it the idea that you wanted to have a charity, and this kind of matched into it? How did that all shake out as it started?
Right. So it's so funny because I still remember the day that I got invested into this. I literally like I am a total like victim of rug pulls. I am like so gullible. So I remember like coming out of a few rug pulls, I had like my like a little bit of BNB left, and I'm like, oh man, like I just want a good token to get into, kind of make like a quick profit, and that was that. And then I found a shill post. I was just in a couple groups on Telegram, and I found the post. It was actually like a copy and paste of, I guess it was like a crypto moonshots like Reddit post or something like that. And just it literally is like the name that stood out to me, right? So this token was here like before I even got on to it. The token had already been made. It was coded and everything, so it was already been made. And I just kind of came across it, and I was like, that I love the name, because I was like, it doesn't say safe in it. It's not space themed. It's not dog themed, and there's nothing with Elon in it. So I'm like, this is completely unique, and that's absolutely what I loved. It was literally just the name, right? So I hopped on, and I guess it was kind of a meme token initially, because like when I hopped in the chat, there was like picture like cartoons of swimming goats and like a goat with scuba gear underwater. Not the dabbing goat, actually. The dabbing goat came a little later on, but like initially, yeah, it was just swimming goats and all that. And then like I said, I got tapped on to be a chat mod because I was so active in it, in the chat. And then I made the group chat just to everybody get on the same page and kind of hey guys, like just so we all know what we're doing, like let's all just talk in here, so we kind of have a general idea. And then, like I said, one thing led to another. Like the charity aspect actually didn't come until probably like day 3 or 4, when a few of us were just talking in the chat and we're brainstorming, like, where do we want to take this, right? Because initially, total meme token, like apart from the yield generation aspect and the liquidity locking and the deflation, it didn't have any real direction or real purpose. So we're like, how can we make this into something useful, right? And we're like, well, it says aqua in the name, like, why don't we go towards ocean cleaning, right? And we're like, that's a really smart idea, like it just makes sense being like the aqua goat. And so we kind of just ran with that, and it's we just embraced it, and like here we are today.
Well, we in the crypto field have it's like the CIA or whatever you want to talk about. You say we trust, but we verify.
100%.
Because with the blockchain, everything is traceable and trackable. And I'm looking through your website, and I'm seeing like all these amazing numbers, 15,000 plus sent to charity and everything. I'm like, no, there's no way. There's no way. So I start poking around, and I'm tracking wallets, and I hopped into Discord and got some help on, because I'm not as familiar with Binance Smart Chain, how to track those wallets. And I'm looking, I'm like, oh my God, they're actually doing this. This isn't like a scam. They're really doing what they say they're doing. And this is so new in the crypto sphere, because people are used to just hype, like you were talking about. And you guys really took this to heart. I can't tell you how amazing that is.
It's funny that you mentioned the whole, like, verify it on the blockchain. Like Janelle and I, like the charity lead, we were actually talking to a contact in Malaysia, that somebody that we're working with on something, and he mentioned how some of the charities down there, like, he didn't give any names, understandably, but some of the charities down there actually run, like, he called it double or triple funding, in which they would go to 2 or 3 organizations, ask for the funding for certain projects, and then they'd pocket the other sources and use one of the sources for funding. And he mentioned how, he really likes crypto in the sense that it's the blockchain and that it's all public access. It's completely transparent. And you, like you say, you can track it down, you can verify it, and you can see it. Everybody can see it, right? There's no veils or curtains or, like, privacy, so to say. Like, again, it's totally transparent. That's what I love about it too, because, like, I remember seeing some FUD, like, oh, how can we verify that the charity donations are being done? And I'm like, well, just go to the charity wallet. You can find it on the smart chain, and you can see, the USDT that we're donating out, and even some of the charities as well as have even publicly acknowledged us. So that's what I love, as well as just the total transparency that the blockchain can provide us.
Very, very good. So when you come up with these causes, I saw on the AMA, you wanted to work with the smaller groups, the ones that maybe didn't have as many resources or things that they could deploy to get this stuff done. And your team, is organized into, what was it, 20 admins? How do you guys decide how that's broken up?
Yeah, so in terms of the decision making, again, primarily a lot of it is led by the community. Mainly the leads have, a bunch of ideas, again, in a lot of different fields. So for marketing, again, I have a lot of ideas there. For charity, again, it's primarily Janelle. All of the other things, it's Cody, Patrick, and Steven. Now, in terms of how the community gets involved with these decisions, is that, we do set up a lot of these polls, and we are very transparent in our Telegram and in our Discord. We're just one message away, very open door policy in that sense. And, whenever people have questions on, like, oh, how can we improve, or what is this an idea, we bring it up to the community, right? Because we see any investor or anyone looking into buying our coin or is currently part of our coin, is part of the bigger picture in one way, shape, or form. So, like I said, just to elaborate on what Patrick was saying earlier, we have the team leads, the 5 of us, and then we have our different groups that help us manage a lot of the groups, such as social media. We have graphics and things like that. And then community members, how they get involved is, keeping up to date with the announcements and a lot of the community involvement, and of course the charity work, because even something as small as a donation is, it makes waves. It's like, that ripple effect, right? And so that's why we were able, in the short amount of time, to be able to donate so much to these smaller groups. But going back to what you're saying, a lot of it is just, we truly want to embody the idea of being community driven, and that we want to make sure everyone is seen and everyone is heard in that sense. But again, we're just, the leaders, and we want to be able to, make those good calls for the better of our investors and for the better of the community, right? So, yeah.
I noticed that, there's a lot of meme coins out there, Shiba, Akita. People will view the various meme tokens at different levels of seriousness. And I see that you guys are somewhat serious. Something that I worry about is, how are you going to ensure that the followers of Aquagoat take it as serious as you do? Because there's a lot of people that just want a pump coin. I'd be interested in hearing your angle on that.
Sure. Great question, actually. So, I mean, initially, like I said before, it felt like a total meme token, because it was just goats swimming underwater, and it had like the Reddit post I saw, it had a catchy slogan, like, if there's an underwater goat, then anything is possible, but it's like, well, what can we make possible, right? And it's interesting that you mentioned, like, these meme tokens, like, and no hate to Shiba and Akita and Doge, because, like, they've blown up as themselves, and like, for example, with Doge, like, I almost feel like that's kind of probably the first almost community token, in the sense that people in the community kind of gave it a use case. Like, it started off with like, you could tip people in Dogecoin. And now, like, over time, like, you know, there's some teams that are accepting Dogecoin, some businesses that are accepting Dogecoin, right? And that came from the community of, you know, allowing it to have that use case of being spendable, being, you know, like store of value so people can invest into it. And so, you know, for us, what we're trying to do is, again, you know, we want to show that we're actually serious by, you know, showing our progress, showing that we're actually donating to these charities, because we don't want it to be just hype, like you said, right? I mean, we want to show that this is a genuinely good project, and it's for the long term too. I mean, in our roadmap, which we list everything down, what we have planned for the future, like a portion of it, it says that we want to make our own, basically like standalone organization that will help in ocean conservation and ocean protection. This is something that we're genuinely passionate about. And, you know, I want people to know that it's you know, past the dabbing goat, right? Past the fun image and the name of it all. Like, this is 100% like charity based and eco focused, like, because, you know, when Elon Musk said that Bitcoins is so like environmentally unfriendly, right? I'm here like, well, like, look at us, like, here we are with Aquagoat. We're on the smart chain, which isn't mined at all, right? It's proof of stake, it's liquidity pool, which is, I think CZ said it's like 90 something percent more efficient than mining, right? Versus, like, you know, with mining, it creates a lot of heat, it uses a lot of electricity, and then some of that electricity is even generated by like coal, right? So it's totally environmentally impactful. Meanwhile, for us, we're here trying to reverse those effects, and we're reversing those effects through the different people that we partner with, or different organizations that we partner with. You know, taking suggestions from the community, like, hey guys, like, you should look into this organization or that organization. We always take it to heart, and we try to pursue as many avenues as we can, because, you know, we genuinely want to make a change on the planet. We want to reverse these kind of effects that have been happening, like all the pollution, overfishing, climate change, which is reducing marine biodiversity and marine ecosystems. Like, there's so many things that are going on with the ocean, and through the work that we've done, I feel like it's as serious as it can get. You know, and again, all transparent as well. You can see everything that we donate on the blockchain.
I want to add into that, and in terms from a branding standpoint, right? Like, you know, we want to keep it to our roots. You know, we are a dabbing goat after all. It can't get any more memeable than that. But, you know, since the project has grown in these past 2 months, we also primarily and objectively want to educate like our masses and our community, and potentially anyone who even just like comes across our website or our social medias, just understand the value and the importance of the ocean, right? Of course, we're allowed to have fun. Like, let's be honest, right? Like, we want to be able to get some good laughs, like get our community excited about, you know, the fun stuff that we have going on. But, you know, at its core, we really do want to be impactful and make a difference, and, you know, kind of go against the grain, as Patrick said, you know, because the idea of people think that, you know, crypto is just bad for the environment is, you know, in some ways it's false, right? Because with the proof of stake and everything, it's a lot different. And I think a lot of people are just like maybe unaware of it. And we want to be able to come together and educate people that there's way more aspects in crypto than just mining and, oh, it's bad for the environment, right? And the way to go about it is to educate our following, right? So like I said, it just we're able to have fun, but we're also primarily wanting to learn, and we want to teach everyone about aspects of the ocean and, you know, aspects about crypto and why it is, you know, so important. So yeah.
I was reading on your roadmap that you guys actually have plans to develop a game. Is that right?
Yes.
I have a couple questions here, but one is about the game, which hopefully you could answer. But I'm curious about how the game and maybe some development can work with your charity as well. Is that something that you're planning to do, like, you know, smart contracts that can automatically donate or something like that? Do you plan to marry those concepts together?
Yes, 100%. So initially the video game was going to be just a mobile game where we could generate ad revenue, and that ad revenue would be converted to Aquagoat and then proceed to be, you know, sent out to the charity wallet. But I think that's still in our plans, but we've actually kind of also focused on looking at a DApp game. and different DApp concepts where people could actually use their Aquagoat to be able to play these games, and in turn, it would also end up funding the charity wallet to be able to help donate over, because right now we're just kind of basing it off of the transaction activity. The charity wallet itself is a holder of Aquagoat, so it's able to generate interest just like everybody. But we want to, of course, accelerate that and be able to get a bit more donation ammo, so to say, so that we can be a bit more meaningful and impactful with our change in the planet. So we are looking at smart contract and DApp games to be able to do that. I know our upcoming staking, farming, swap platform that we have going on, it's kind of going to be like Pancake Swap, where it'll have the lottery. And I think with Pancake Swap, it's like 50% of the pool is kind of like the prizes for everybody participating in the lottery. And then the other 50%, I'm not too sure what they do. I think they burn it or something like that. But for us, what we're planning to do is the same thing, 50% going to, the winners according to their winning numbers. And then the other portion would be burned. A small portion would be going to the marketing wallet, and a larger portion would be going towards the charity wallet, just so we can continue to accelerate that. And, even with the video game as well, I think that there's the idea of, well, we could make it so people could pay for power-ups with, power-ups or add-ons or something using their Aquagoat. And in turn, that Aquagoat would be able to be routed over to the charity wallet. So we would have, like I said, more ammo and be able to actually accelerate that donation accrual, and also accelerate the donation interest that we're accruing in that charity wallet, so we can make a much more meaningful impact.
That's really cool. There's so many questions that you just spurred with all of that I'm not sure that I could ask them all at once. But did I hear some staking in there? Something about staking?
Yes. So like I said, we're making our own proprietary, kind of Pancake Swap. It's not going to be like a Pancake Swap clone that you see a lot of these other tokens are making. We're basically making it from the ground up, and it's like I said, completely proprietary. So a portion of it, there will be staking, there will be farming. We're still looking into the specifics. We're looking at, is there going to be like an inflationary token that we're making, or something similar? There's this one project that we've kind of looked at, Ape Swap, where they have the banana, and then they have the golden banana, which is like you could pay for the golden banana with the banana, but you get 70% back, and that 30%, I believe a large portion is burned, and then a small portion ends up going to the charity wallet, which they're able, or I'm not sure if it's charity wallet or development wallet, and then they're able to in turn utilize that. So in the same way, we are looking at that kind of other token. We're gonna want to make it tied to Aquagoat, so you can't really buy it with necessarily BNB or anything. But you would be, buying Aquagoat to purchase, I don't know, let's say a golden goat token, right? And then from there, that could be used for the ecosystem itself.
Terrific. I'm hearing a lot of really good things. And I know it's in my mind, and our listeners will have it in their mind. You're talking about a game, a DEX, all these awesome things. How are you planning to scale that up? You guys could blow up, and suddenly there's those 20 admins have their hands full 20 hours a day. How are you managing the scale up on that?
Well, our team is pretty open. Like I said, I mean, we're completely volunteer based, and so we do look out towards the community. But we're not indifferent to, let's say, providing our own backend support. So we do have some software developers on our team. So we've kind of gotten it kind of figured out that, pretty sure they'll be able to handle over that own side of the swap platform itself with the video game and the swap platform. But like you said, it is going to be pretty big, right? So, I mean, in the future, once it's a bit more established, I know I said, we are looking to be primarily volunteer based, but once it does start to get big enough, we will eventually have to start financing for, other software developers, Solidity developers, people who are a bit more well-versed than we are in these kinds of things to be able to oversee that. We're just fortunate to have some people already on our team that do those things. But as time goes on and as the token appreciates and we're able to build up, like we do have a marketing wallet / development wallet. So we do look into the future of being able to have a solid team. If it's not the volunteer investors on our software developer team, when we are open to having that base team or sole team to be able to handle the swap platform and the different game platforms that we're going to be having.
Yeah. I also want to add from a marketing standpoint and how we're going to scale up is a lot of partnerships. Now, I can't really disclose what we have in store potentially, but a lot of partnerships, a lot of things that are in the pipeline that we're going to be working towards. Again, with marketing, I want to be able to, touch every single social media platform and just broadcast, what our token is and what it's about. If that means someone's more aware of, why the ocean is important and what we're doing, then, that's fantastic, right? Objectively, that's one of our core missions, is to really bring awareness to the issue, right? And that's done through just being visible on all the social media platforms. I mean, in terms of the last few weeks, we've already grown exponentially in numbers. I mean, right now we're looking at like 250 plus or 250K plus holders. We got over 12,000 people on Instagram, 40,000 people on Twitter. And again, that's only within the first 2 months of this token being active, right? And I honestly think like it's only going to go up from here, and utilizing, the power of influence and visibility is really how we're going to brand ourselves and scale up to that level of what our personal expectations are. And even, again, just as far as like my personal expectations for this token, it's already been well exceeded, and it continues to exceed my expectations every single day with every, partnership, every email, every, means of marketing. It's really exciting, and it really is purposeful and fulfilling, individually speaking. And I hope everyone's able to, sense that as a community, because there's just so much going on, right? And we have so much more in store for the next few weeks and for the next few months, if I'm going to be honest. So yeah.
Apart from even the marketing and the development that we have, I mean, the swap platform and the video game platform, I mean, I feel like that's almost really geared towards the crypto space. I mean, unless you're in the crypto space, you won't really know how to use it. I mean, the DApp games is a bit more accessible as an investor, but once it gets into the DEX and the swap and the farms and all that, like the farm and staking, it's almost like you have to be like an intermediate level like crypto investor to really fully understand that. And most people would probably be using the swap, but outside of just that kind of crypto sphere kind of use case, like kind of answering for Janelle here. Unfortunately, she's not able to make it here, but when we go towards these charity partnerships and we continue to scale up and expand these different organizations that we're partnering with, it is in our plans to actually, we want to start them off with a little stack of Aquagoat, so that they can, begin to kind of hold it. And we do want them to be able to start taking Aquagoat as well. And so I look at this as, the use case similar to what Bitcoin has, right? What does Bitcoin have? It has a store of value and it has that medium of exchange, right? And I want to expand on kind of that use case similarly with Aquagoat by, incentivizing these organizations to hold Aquagoat, start them off with a small stack. They can already start to accrue interest through the tokenomics. And because they have that stack and the interest that you accrue is based on how much you hold of the total supply, there is an incentive actually to take donations in with Aquagoat, right? Because if you get more Aquagoat donated to you as an organization, then even passively, your interest or the amount of interest that you're receiving grows as well, right? And we want to be able to build on that, so that we want to push forward with that adoption of being able to be that store of value, be that use case, like kind of like give these organizations kind of like a hold strategy similar to Grayscale and all those bigger organizations. We want to incentivize that, and it's already incentivized through the tokenomics, and we want to push forward with that, because I think earlier you mentioned the meme tokens, and they only start to blow up because, I guess, say for Doge, they kind of started to blow up because it got a lot of hype, and then people found that use case. But we want to push this forward ourselves as Aquagoat, as we want that store value. We want to incentivize holding. We want to have that medium of exchange where people would use Aquagoat to donate to organizations. And even in our roadmap, we're looking to have our own merchandising store where people can use Aquagoat to be able to buy real life things. So it's like an actual real life currency. I guess you could say on par with Bitcoin and all these other cryptos that are already being accepted normally.
I thought that was genius. The angle on getting in with companies who want to talk about being eco-friendly, coming on to the platform in one form or another. It helps them. It helps you. I thought that was fantastic. How did that start?
With the charity aspect?
No, I saw on some of the conversations that were going on that if companies maybe want to reach out from the charity angle about being a little bit more environmentally friendly, being a little bit more concerned in the ocean side, that they could contact you and get in touch with you about using Aquagoat for something they can profess that they're doing something for charity as well. How would they get in touch with you about that?
Marielle, I think this is your wheelhouse here.
Yeah, good question. So so just to clarify, it's just how to get in touch with us as a team and how to get more involved in the community is being asked.
Sure. From a corporate standpoint, or I saw a lot of people talking about wanting to be able to take it out and promote it to the local companies they're engaged with as a way to become a little bit more environmentally friendly. How do they reach out to you to talk about that?
Yeah. So first things first, if they want to reach out directly to the leads, if they're a brand that wants to get more involved with Aquagoat and see, our capabilities, we actually do have on our website the Meet the Team section. It shows all of our LinkedIns and all of our emails. So if you guys, like, for example, if it's a brand wanting to get in touch with marketing, you can email me directly. For Janelle, if it's regarding charity, you can just email her directly, etc. We also have like our telegrams, for example, that are available. So if ever you have like a looming question and for me, like I get messages constantly about like, even the small things, I'm more than happy to answer them. Just because like I want to be able to showcase that open door policy, I guess, to say the least. So, even if it's like a small question of like, oh, what are you guys doing? Like, I want to be able to answer that myself personally, right? Get it from the source, right? Alternatively, again, with our social media team, we have a really strong social media team. So with a lot of the incoming messages and responses we get from our content, you're always able to comment, message directly, tweet directly to us. We always try to, engage with our following in that sense. And then the biggest thing is our Discord. We do have a Discord running. And I'm usually online, chatting up in the main chat if anyone ever has questions or suggestions. I love listening to people's suggestions, even if it's like an influencer or, hey, like reach out to maybe these guys can help you guys out. And I was like, yeah, it's great. I always take, like I said, every single community member's suggestion and at least try to push it forward to see if it is a potential lead, right? And same goes for all of us as team leads here. We always want to be able to take the suggestions brought into account, with Telegram, with Discord, with Instagram, Twitter, et cetera, right? Again, since it's community driven, we really want to lead that with everyone's suggestions. So again, if anyone ever wants to message us directly, we're available on Telegram. We're definitely available on Discord. It's the easiest to get a hold of us. And then if it's something regarding a partnership or donation or branding, feel free to just email us and we'll be able to get that started for you. So.
I think I do want to just step into a little bit of a twist on one area that we talked about with how you guys take it so seriously. I do want to hammer that one more time. We mentioned probably 15 times in this conversation about meme tokens. How do you come out of that? How do you separate yourself? What are your plans to make sure that this doesn't end up just like another meme coin where a celebrity jumps onto it and either takes it wrecks it like Elon and his tweets. How do you keep a handle on keeping this serious?
So really great question, actually. I love when people ask this. Even community members actually have a tendency to ask this every now and then, right? Because they always have, the curious mind of, oh, are you guys just here for short term, or are we really a long-term investment? Of course, the answer is yes. And how, right? And so, apart from the traction that we get from social media, like we really put a big emphasis on education. Like I've said a couple of times previously on this podcast, like we really emphasize the ideas of why, ocean conservation is so important, and how, it feeds into our ecosystem and quite frankly, our everyday lives, right? And so being able to, look serious, again, still be able to have fun, don't get me wrong, but, it's really important that we, stick to their core values and continuously educate the masses. And, with Janelle being a great educator outside of doing the charity works, and I myself with marketing, we really work hand in hand to make sure that not only are we teaching people the strengths about the oceans, we even want to be able to educate people on why we're investing in these charities. So for example, like a couple of charities, they focus on like technologies, for example, like they want to get more innovative, see how we're able to clean the ocean in a sustainable and effective way. So we want to be able to educate people on it's more than just like picking up the garbage, which again, super important. It's about developing and progressing forward, right? And in essence, that's what crypto is. It's such a huge step in the right direction, right? And so again, the huge emphasis here is really educating everyone and continuously being engaged. As our following grows, so does our leadership and the members of the community. So we really want to bring forth that core value of education. I don't know if Patrick wants to add on, but that for me, from a marketing standpoint, like there's so much power to knowledge, right? And we want to be able to educate is really what we're trying to do.
Yeah, I'll build on that. I mean, in terms of the, taking us serious and whether we're here for the short term or here for the long term, I mean, I feel like we've shown the proof in the pudding in that we do genuinely do these donations, and we're trying to make a regular impact on the environment. And I mean, it's as regular as it can get. I mean, it's every 2 weeks we're holding these community polls, letting the community kind of say, hey, like, let's donate here, let's donate there. And we always show out with the receipts, and we even get the acknowledgement sometimes from the organization. And so I feel like, just showing the proof in the pudding of, being able to show regularly that we are doing these things. If the first time wasn't enough, well, here's the second time. That second time wasn't enough, here's the third time. Was those three not enough? Well, here we are. We adopted a coral reef and we adopted a dolphin. Then we came out with the fourth community poll already, right? So I think it's just that regular impact that we're making to really show everybody, like, hey, we are genuinely doing this. And eventually over time, like we'll have a good amount of donations that we've already done, and even a good amount of donations into the future that we'll be doing. And, with these different integrations and projects that we have, like we said earlier, like with the swap / DEX farm stake platform, with the DApp game, like, we want to be able to build up the wallets that we have in terms of the charity wallet to continue making that impact. Right, we want to speed up the process and be able to make larger impacts on the environment, and work hand in hand with different organizations to be able to make these impacts. And starting off with, we did donate to larger organizations before. Right now, we're trying to reach out to kind of the smaller organizations that don't really get a lot of maybe attention, or they don't get as many donations, because we want to make that big impact, right? And that's why we also push that hold strategy of, if you guys hold Aquagoat and you guys take Aquagoat, you'll start to develop that passive income, so that, even if you guys maybe don't get that exposure that you guys deserve, at least passively, you'll be able to continue to make that income, so you can continue to fund yourselves off of that Aquagoat that you're receiving. And so I think, as we move forward, we'll really show our strengths and really show that we really are here to do this. But with already everything we have planned, it's all set up so that we can continue to do this into the long term and continue to be able to making that impact. And we have the evidence to show we already have, and we continue to have plans moving forward to continue making those impacts.
There's a feature of the coin actually that when you make trades and I think move Aquagoat,
Yes.
doesn't it? Some money moves around, or not money, but Aquagoat moves around.
Is that in terms of the tokenomics?
Yeah, the tokenomics.
Right, for sure. So on every transaction, whether you're buying, you're selling, or you're even transferring Aquagoat over to a friend, family member, etc., a 4% fee is taken out. So every transaction has a 4% fee. And in that 4% fee, 50% of that 4% will be locked away into liquidity. So that's going to protect the value of the token, and the liquidity is completely locked. I can try and pull up the transaction hash, but I'm pretty sure you can even pull up the transaction hash if you search relevant links in our Telegram. So the liquidity tokens have been burned, so nobody can touch that liquidity. We do have like a liquidity staking or liquidity farm opened up through one of our partnerships, Olive Cash. But outside of that, like the liquidity in V1 liquidity of PancakeSwap is completely locked. Nobody can touch that. And even with the V2, now that V2 transactions are occurring now, that liquidity will be locked outside of the people that are staking and everything like that. So that's with the liquidity aspect of the tokenomics. Now with the redistribution, which is the other 2%, it started off with 60% or 1.2% of every transaction would be redistributed to holders. And with 40% of the supply being burned at launch, that meant a starting burn rate of 0.8%. So earlier I said that the burn wallet itself is a holder. So with 40% of the supply initially, I think right now we're at like 46% or 46.5% of the total supply like now in the burn wallet. So that burn wallet, because it's growing in size, the burn rate actually increases. And the distribution to all holders, like if you're still holding your bag of Aquagoat, your distribution doesn't decrease, but the amount available does decrease, right? And so over time, eventually, like the diamond hands will really win here, because you're going to be able to not only maintain that amount of distribution that you've been getting from day one, but you'll also be, kind of taking up and securing that distribution fee, even if the burn rate continues to increase and increase. Eventually, right, we'll get to 1% of every transaction being burned. Eventually, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3. So over time, the burn rate will be growing while the distribution for everybody begins to whittle down. But that works hand in hand, because as the circulating supply also gets whittled down because of the burn wallet, it only makes sense that the amount distributed has to fall in tandem with that.
Is this a fixed tokenomics, or will it change over time? Do you guys have any plans to alter how the coin works?
So there's no way that we can change the contract. The contract is locked and the ownership is renounced. So I think it's renounced to the deployer. So, even if we wanted to change the tokenomics, there's absolutely no way that we can. So that liquidity portion, that's going to maintain the same 2% of every transaction. The 2% distribution fee, that's always going to maintain the same. There's no way that we can change it. Like we can't just go in there and be like, oh, I think 46% of the supply, like 0.92% right now for burn. I think that's a little too much. Let's dial it back a bit. I mean, there's no way that we can do that. The contract itself is locked.
So there's no governance. So if is the coin designed to grow at all? Some other coins, when they want to change things, Litecoins did it, Bitcoin has did it. If they want to change some things, they can actually just fork the coin.
Right.
And do you have any plans along that line for any sort of governance going forward?
Governance, well, the thing is, the contract is locked, right, with the renounced ownership. So there's no way that we can really say hey, well, let's offer to the community, let's change the distribution fee or anything. There's nothing that we can do about that. It is locked, like I said. So in terms of governance, there's no way to actually change that specific token or the specific token of Aquagoat. But, with our integrations, I mean, we put it out to the community of, from community, like, charity organizations that we donate to even like the different projects that we're working on. We take the suggestions from the community and run with that. I'm pretty sure in the future with the inflationary token or other token that we have in the swap platform, we could look into that. I mean, the contract would have to be opened for us to be able to change those things. So, with Aquagoat primarily, no, there wouldn't be any way to change anything like that. But in the future, as I guess that the different token tied into the platform itself, there could potentially be, some changes that could be made to that, since it would be in the Aquagoat ecosystem, and we would be able to control that and be able to have the community have a say in how that operates.
I do want to throw you a curveball, though. And I'd like to ask that you step out of your Aquagoat skins, okay? Take off the Aquagoat shirt, and tell us a little something about yourself. What is something that you would want the listeners to know about you as a person?
As a person, Marielle, want to take this first?
What do they want to know? Oh, you know what? Okay, I mean, it's not technically Aquagoat related, but I guess kind of crypto related. But it is tied to myself. I've only been trading crypto since, I want to say, December 2020, and so that would probably be like, I need like half a year now that I've been in the crypto sphere. And it was very daunting. So I would consider myself a relatively new investor, if anything. But like as someone myself, like I'm like a lifelong learner. I feel like you can know everything and still want to know more. And with crypto in general, like every single day, whether it be crypto related or not, with the community, like I'm always learning something new. So about myself, even though like I'm a really young new investor, when it comes to crypto, I kind of want to share that because I know a lot of people like in the community, whether it be your listeners or anyone who does get a chance to listen to this wonderful podcast, that, it doesn't take, a lot to be able to just like sit down and try and learn, because it really is something that like I've fully invested myself in. It's beyond monetarily. Like I love learning about crypto. And I know that's kind of like generic and quite simple, to be frank, but like it's something I'm actually just become so passionate about. And I thank Patrick for, allowing me to learn like through him. And it's just that regardless of how much experience you may have with investing, it's never too late or too early to start and try something new. And, it's just been one big learning curve. So I guess the one thing I wanted to say to take home is that like, I am a new investor and I am currently learning every day. The team leads definitely know that because I still text them every now and then, like the silliest questions. But yeah, that's probably one fun fact about myself. I don't even think a lot of the listeners or even people who participate in our AMAs know that about myself. So yeah.
Well, I think you'll fit right in because CryptoFaz Academy Discord is all about learning. We dig into new coins. This is we would call this one a new emerging crypto. Whenever we hear about something new, we try to learn about it. There's not a lot of discords like that for crypto right now, or I haven't found places online that really get into talking about how cryptos work. They're all about how can we get as much money as possible from the coin. And so, if to kind of plug our Discord a little bit, if you stop by there, you'll see that we're poking into a lot of different coins, just seeing how they work. We were talking about holochain just today, for example. Oh, and Patrick, sorry, I've got in the middle of that.
No, it's okay. Oh man, I feel like I kind of get like emotional when I talk about like this. I do share it in the Telegram. I've shared it plenty of times. But I will say that like Aquagoat changed my life in the sense that when I first got into Aquagoat, like I turned to crypto trading because I had been crypto trading for a while now. I was kind of in and out, back in 2017, 2018 when that initial kind of crypto pump happened after way back. So I've been in and out. But I kind of got back into it probably with a lot of people because of the pandemic. We're all stuck inside, and it started with stocks, and I really built up my technical analysis skills, starting in stocks, and then moved into crypto as I saw it was kind of moving a lot faster than stocks. You could potentially make, I don't know, like maybe 20-30% in a few weeks or something. But I mean, crypto, like in the same amount of time, you could make like 200-300%, right? So that's what really drew me to it. But when I did start investing into Aquagoat, and even in the general like decentralized exchange like cryptocurrencies, I was actually unemployed, and I was just feeding off of my unemployment benefits, like kind of after setting aside everything for like what I needed for my expenses, and I had like a few dollars to chip into these cryptos. And that's how I got into Aqua. I was steadily taking like some unemployment benefits set aside, and whatever I had left just go into cryptos. And then I did eventually kind of have a job for a little bit. I was working from home, so I was able to focus on Aquago and the job like at the same time. Honestly, it was more Aquago than anything. But like I said, like it really did change my life because I had been in a tough spot basically for a while, and it's great to have the success. And I feel like we're very fortunate to have been able to have this happen. I'm very fortunate. And I don't even hold like the amount that I've been able to take out for myself was really just to cover like the next few weeks or few months of expenses for myself. But even then, like I've given back to like my family, because I feel like they deserved it for raising me for so long. I set some aside for my little brother to be able to he's almost out of high school, and I want to make sure that he has like post-secondary or university college funds to be able to do those things, because I don't want my parents to kind of handle that now that they're getting a little older. So it's the fact that it's changed my life. I just want to make everybody around me, I want to enrich them as well and be able to help them out, because I've been helped out so much by the project and by the community. And I'm gonna cry. But no, like really, it's something that's really changed my life. And I just love having the community, love having the project like here, and being able to other investors that invested with me, like even them, their lives have changed too. And I love to see the fact that some people, they're like, I can finally pay off my student loans, I can finally pay off that debt that I have. And like it's so enriching, and it's so fulfilling to be able to do that for not just myself, but for other people. And it's almost like that's kind of why I push forward, outside of that kind of profiteering aspect, or sorry, not profiteering, but outside of being able to kind of make a good return on the investment. It's just the fact that we're changing the planet and also changing people's lives here. That's really something that really sticks with me, and that's something that really continues to drive me every single day.
Yeah. I want to add on that because like I want to give a little special shout out to Patrick actually, because like he's the person that like allowed me to learn so much about it, because he's a really patient person, and I'm so happy to be able to work alongside him. I want to touch base on the aspect of like how it changed my life. And like if you were to ask me pre-pandemic what I was going to be doing for the rest of my life, I would have told you like I was going to finish school, and I was gonna make X amount of money and work the 9 to 5 and just live my normal mundane life. But like I guess like life took a change for the better, and like through Aquago and just even learning about the cryptosphere, thanks to Patrick and all the team leads who are so patient and kind, and everyone in the community, like it really changed my life. Like even though there's days where like I'm working like 20 hours just constantly trying to get marketing out and make sure that everything's taken care of, like it really drives my soul. It makes me feel so purposeful in life. And like through crypto, like I'm not only able to like afford things, like I'm able to help like my family, you know what I mean? I'm able to help my siblings who have to go through school, right? And like full transparency, it brings me to tears, because like I never thought I would be able to do it. And like thinking about it now and how much more room this token and the community is going to grow, Like it just brings me pure joy, which is why like as a marketing lead, I want to be able to deliver that same like, charisma that I, tell people about, like personally about the token, right? I tell my peers all the time because they're really curious about it. And I tell them like, this is something that like is completely different. It's going to be new, but like I'm enjoying every aspect of it, and not just crypto in itself, but this community, right? That's really something that like I hold near and dear to my heart.
Faz and I go back probably 30 years.
Wow.
And he's been begging me for years to look into the crypto field. And I would always blow him off. I said, "You're crazy. This is like funny internet money. Forget about it." And finally, he pinned me down last year and said, "Stop fooling around. I'm serious. You've got to get into this." And I started playing myself. And believe me, everything you guys were saying, it's the same here. I am like crypto obsessed now. And the people in this industry and who do the trading and the Discord people, I mean, it's just a wonderful place to be. Yes. So I totally understand that. I've never been in a position where I've been better off since I started this, not only as a person, but financially as well. It's about what you make of it. And when you make a commitment to something like Aquagoat and you put your whole heart and your whole soul into it, there's no way at all that you can turn back and do anything else in life.
Completely agreed. I mean, that's even why like I quit my job for this, right? Like it was just so much more fulfilling. Like you said, like the people in the community of crypto are just like, they're actually really helpful, being able to help us understand the different inner workings of each crypto, giving us tips and everything. I mean, it's just so fulfilling and so enriching, like you said, for outside of being financial, but even as a person, right? Like you grow as a person, you grow with each other, and you're able to share in each other's successes and bring other people up with you, and it really is fulfilling. 100%. It really does feel so good to be able to be a part of this.
Yeah, and it's like exciting. Every day is a different day when working as a team lead. Like you never know what you're going to experience. And for me, like I have like my tasks, and then it's just like there's 10 million different things that will come to my attention, and then like I learn something new. And like especially again, like I said, like I'm such a new investor, and to be able to grow with this community and learn so much about how useful cryptocurrency is, like it's been edifying. It's been so fulfilling. Like it really is. And like I said, I really thank Patrick and everyone in the community for being so patient and for just being so willing to allow me to understand and be able to help, people who ask those same questions to me. Right. So I look to them for knowledge, and people look to me for knowledge, and it's just a ever-flowing cycle of, good energy. Right. So yeah.
Well, I know we're going to be talking about this all night, so I'm gonna be the bad guy and cut things off. We very much appreciate you guys talking with us, and we'd love to check in with you guys from time to time in the future. That's a very interesting coin and charity associated with the coin that I'd like to keep up on, and see how it progresses. To that end, I think I'm going to have to call it. So thank you again, guys. We very much appreciate you having a talk with us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for letting us come on to the show. It's been super fun, and we're just so excited to, be able to talk to you guys about the token. So thank you so much.
And whenever you have that invite for the next time, we will gladly accept it. We'd love to come back.
Yeah.
Great.
Absolutely. Good talk today.
We could totally get everyone on, like all the team leads maybe, and we're going to be even bigger than hopefully what we even imagined, right? We're already so big, and then it's going to even get even bigger. That's the hope, right? So
yeah.
Oh, I think you guys are in a good position to take it wherever it is that you want to go.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right. Bye, guys.
Awesome. Take care, everybody.
Thanks,
Cheers.
guys.
Bye-bye.